Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're digging into this incredible story. It's got everything: lost treasure, a dictator, and a really destructive legacy that, believe it or not, still haunts a nation to this day. So, let's just jump right in with this question, right? It's the kind of thing that has literally fueled a treasure hunting frenzy for decades. It sounds amazing, promises of unbelievable riches, but as we're going to see, it hides a much, much darker story. Okay, let's get into the legend itself. And I'm telling you, this story is so big, so grand, it honestly sounds like it was ripped straight out of a Hollywood movie. So, where does this all start? Well, you have to go back to World War II. There was this secret Japanese military operation, codenamed Golden Lily. And its mission? Well, it was nothing short of systematic, continent-wide theft. We're talking about the biggest plunder in history. So under this Golden Lily operation, Japanese forces allegedly just stripped everything. We're talking treasuries, banks, museums, even private homes, all the way from China to Malaysia. Think about it: gold bullion, priceless religious statues, jewels, just an unbelievable amount of wealth. But then, the war started to turn against them. The legend says they couldn't get it all back to Japan in time. So what do? They pick a hiding spot. And that spot was the Philippines. And look, we're not just talking about burying one treasure chest here. No. The legend claims this massive loot was hidden in over 175 different sites, secret booby-trapped tunnels and caves. It basically turned the entire country into one giant potential treasure map. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. The really crucial part of the myth isn't just about the treasure. It's about who supposedly found it next. So the story goes that American intelligence actually found some of these vaults after the war, and instead of, returning the wealth, the claim is that President Truman himself ordered a massive cover-up. Why? To create a secret, off-the-books slush fund to fight the Cold War. I mean, what a twist, right? Okay, so you've got this incredible story. It's part war crime, part massive conspiracy theory. The big question is, how did it go from just a story to a full-blown cultural phenomenon in the Philippines? Well, it really comes down to three key events that just blew this thing up, taking it from a rumor to a national obsession. First, you've got 1971. A locksmith, a guy named Rogelio Roxas, makes this absolutely sensational claim. He says he found a solid gold Buddha, but then, and this is the key part, it was seized by men working for the president, Ferdinand Marcos. That kicks off this huge, decades-long legal battle and really plants the seed. Then you see the Marcos regime itself start to use the story to explain their own staggering fortune. I mean, think about it. Their wealth was estimated in the billions. They needed an explanation, something other than just corruption. So after they were exiled, Imelda Marcos herself comes out and says their fortune didn't come from crime, it came from finding Yamashita's gold. It was just the perfect cover story, right? Almost patriotic. And that just cemented the legend in everyone's minds. So, okay, we've got all this talk of gold, billions of dollars, unbelievable riches. But we have to step back and ask a really critical question here. After all these decades of people searching, what has the hunt for Yamashita's gold actually produced? And the answer, well, it's not a story of fortune. It's a story of destruction. This relentless, decades-long search for mythical gold has left a trail of very, very real damage all across the Philippines. This frenzy, it's just fueled decades of completely unauthorized and incredibly destructive digging. I mean, people have torn up ancient burial sites, they've desecrated churches, cemeteries, they've dug these insanely dangerous deep tunnels. Get this, one in Cebu City went down 100 meters. And for what? All in pursuit of a treasure that has absolutely no verifiable evidence of even existing. And if you want one single incident that just perfectly captures the tragedy of all this, listen to this. Looters, in their search for gold, found this priceless Kalane pottery. We're talking over 2,000 years old. And what did they do? They destroyed it. They literally destroyed it with chemicals because they thought Japanese soldiers had hidden gold inside the clay. That is the real cost. It's irreplaceable history being completely obliterated by people who just confuse archaeology with treasure hunting. And that right there, that brings us to maybe the most important distinction we need to make, the absolutely fundamental difference between searching for riches and searching for knowledge. On the surface, they might seem similar, but these two things couldn't be more different. Treasure hunting, at its core, is all about profit, right? The methods are crude, secretive, and worst of all, they just rip objects from their context, which completely destroys the story they could tell. But archaeology, its goal is knowledge. Its methods are slow, they're systematic, they're scientific, and it's all about preserving our shared human heritage. So here's the crucial point to understand. When a site gets looted, we don't just lose a cool object. We lose the story, and we lose it forever. Think about it. The layers of soil, the exact position of an artifact, what it was found with, all that data, poof, it's wiped out. We lose the chance to really understand our ancestors, their lives, their beliefs, their entire world. Okay, so let's bring this all together. What's the real takeaway from this whole legend of Yamashita's gold? Well, after more than 70 years of searching by thousands and thousands of people, not a single verifiable gold bar from this legendary treasure has ever been officially recovered. Not one. The legend has made no one rich, but the damage done in its name, oh, that is very, very real. The true gold of the Philippines, it isn't buried in some booby-trapped tunnel. It's lying right there in its archaeological sites, just waiting to tell us its story. And ultimately, this whole legend, it kind of forces us to ask ourselves what we really value, doesn't it? Is it the exciting, alluring myth of buried riches? Or is it the real, tangible, and honestly priceless stories of our shared human heritage? That right there, that's the real treasure hunt.